Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. On today's show, we'll have Andrea Propp with the Gather Local Market, as well as Shane Lazarevich and Fallon Baptiste with the Lux and Light event December 7th. As always, we'd like to connect with you. Follow us on Facebook at ConnectYXE, catch past interviews on YouTube, email us at connectyxe@gmail.com, or leave a message at 306-665-3796. The Gather Local Market in Saskatoon and Riversdale is open again and going full steam ahead. We have Andrea Propp with us, who's the operations manager, coming down to the studio. Thanks so much for being here. I want to talk a little bit about you and how you got involved in this role.
Yeah, thanks so much for the warm welcome, Randy. I appreciate it. Yes, my farmers markets roots started actually back south in Regina, where I ended up taking on a pretty big role digitizing their farmers market during the pandemic. So I ended up helping be a big contributor to developing an online store and just really getting to bridge that community. I did get brought on to Gather Local Markets project for operational expertise on a board level. So I did start on the board for Gather, and fast forward, and as it so happened, I resigned from my board position and have taken on that operational role. So very excited to see Gather have its doors open in River Landing neighborhood and be able to take something from concept in Saskatoon to now this beautiful renovated space that we can now invite the community into.
I think it's been something that we've all been waiting for so long. Welcome to Saskatoon and the neighborhood. What is the premise of Gather, I guess we're going to call it, for the ease of anyone referring to it? It's short, snappy, and that's the new name, and we're going to stay with that.
We love that.
So if we were to say your friends are coming in from out of town, or before a game or graduation, weddings, whatever, let's go to Gather. What would they expect when they went there?
Well, I would hope the first thing they feel when they get there is that they're entering a very welcoming community hub that showcases the food, beverage, grocery, and retail operators that showcase Saskatchewan and are facilitated by local Saskatoon business owners. So that's probably a mouthful for the friends and family coming in. So I would say come to Gather, expect a community hub, come sip, sample, and shop Saskatoon flavors, and just have a very relaxed, welcoming environment where you can just come and hang out and just run into people you know, because we're in Saskatchewan, it's inevitable.
So are there fixed hours, or do you kind of fluctuate depending on the season? How often are you open?
Yeah, so we're meant to be here most days of the week. So we fluctuate between 5 and 6 days a week, really trying to make sure we're open for that lunchtime and that early dinner time, with some later hours on Thursday and Friday nights. Staying true to our roots of what has been in the space before us, we do have that farmers market component happening on Saturdays. So for people looking for vendors with tables set up, that would be your Saturday day. But Gather is more focused as a public market. So we do have that food and drink options of restaurants. We have the first public market bar in the space, which is exciting. And we also have that grocery component with Sask Made Marketplace taking up a nice corner in our northwest space there. So if you're looking for those classic pantry products like your honeys, jams, teas, we have fresh farm meat in the space, all sorts of sauces and tasty snacks, with works in progress to also have fresh produce in their space ready to go. That's Sask grown, which is amazing, starting in January of 2025.
So if we just talked about bringing our family and friends down there for those reasons, are there any events and people would come to Gather? How that would work in the future with events, or Winter Shines has typically been there and successful. Are there plans for doing something like that in that space?
Of course. So that brings us more to that community hub focus of what we do. So there's kind of two categories. There's going to be those weekly programmings that are happening that are going to be facilitated by our local champions of the space. So for instance, Thursdays we have alternating open mic nights and salsa nights coming into the space. Saturdays we have those market days for programming. We're also looking, though, in addition to some of those other programs, then having that second component of those annual events that are coming into the space. So like you said, having Winter Shines in February, I'll give you the exclusive invite here. In January, we're actually looking at hosting Kuna Fest. Kuna means snow and Cree, so we're really looking to encapsulate on having some Indigenous storytelling and just other animations in the space that are going to be that January attraction into that community hub. We also have that beautiful front yard of Market Square that has that gazebo in there with power, which gives us a couple more options as well to extend some of that programming and actually embrace the seasons that we have in Saskatchewan, both the summer markets that we're used to seeing with tents, but also now building that out to have those winter components too.
So when we have looking into November, December, there's the Rockin' Around Riversdale, November 23rd, and then in December, is there any plans for any events there?
Yeah, so December, we're excited to be hosting our holiday markets. So each weekend, there's sort of a themed market that's going to be coming in so people can attend what they want to shop for. So for example, the first weekend is our makers market. So anyone looking for those craft or gift ideas to kind of get a one-up on the holiday season. That second weekend, we're looking to do a sip and sample kind of a weekend. So for anyone looking for bottles or to enjoy just like some hot, tasty food to eat while you're enjoying a market night. And then that third weekend is our fresh and crisp market weekend. So that's where we're looking for those fresh baked goods and any of those perishable items that we need to really make sure we're picking up as close to Christmas as possible, because maybe pups might find those treats under the Christmas tree a little early, or maybe we might be giving mold as gifts. So anything that needs to be fresh, we want to make sure that's showcased well on that last weekend of December. But even as early as November, next Sunday, we have Santa Claus Parade coming through. So volunteers will all be checking in for the floats on Sunday the 17th of November.
Yeah.
So we're up and running. I know there's a lot to take in here, so definitely check out our website and our events page so people can follow along to see what's happening and when. But really excited to be able to offer the local programming weekly and then also those monthly annual events that are coming through the space.
So when I go there, if I've never been, what would I expect to see? Who are some vendors that you have in the gather space?
Oh, of course. So if you come into I'm going to guide you through our east entrance. So if you came in that way, you're going to be greeted with some of our favorite restaurant vendors, including the Prairie Grazer, who does beautiful build your own charcuterie boxes. We have Mexican La Taqueria serving those classic tacos, burritos, all the delicious things. Bote Chai Bar is a Persian cafe, so they actually have really beautiful hand-selected herb teas and pastries. Amazing. And you also have some Peruvian food as well that are offering traditionally like empanadas with Saskatoon berry filling I just had very recently. But as you kind of walk through that corridor, you're going to be greeted with some very tasty smelling other restaurants. I don't want to give them all away. You'll have to come check them out. But we also do have LB Distillers, a local distillery who animates and facilitates the bar in the central area that really connects that restaurant component of the space with that common public area. And they sit right in the middle, and you can have 25 seats going all the way around. And what's cool with the license they've acquired, anyone can sit at the bar and just enjoy their food there. Obviously, you need to follow the rules and be 19 to enjoy a beverage there, but it's a really cool concept that you can grab a drink from the bar space and go anywhere in the building and still be allowed to consume your beverage in a tasteful way.
So a bit of a folk fest format, if you will, where you can go get food, come back, sit here, try different things, make an evening. How late are you open till typically?
So we're meant to be more of that family-friendly destination. So we're going to be open till at least 7 throughout the week. With those Thursday, Fridays, we're going to stay open till 9. Now, we understand some events may want to book with us, whether it's a Christmas party or a networking event. We are willing to work case by case with folks who are looking to stay perhaps a little bit later. But yeah, we're meant to be that holistic destination to really like come in, knowing that we're next door neighbors to Riversdale and to downtown that has a very active and lively night scene. So we're happy to be your pre-party drinks and find your parking and then kind of meander throughout the streets downtown. But yeah, no, we still love to have people in the space in those like earlier 7 to 9 hours. But just knowing that there's other people already doing a great job of the nightlife in the city. So we're not here to compete with that as so much as to complement it.
So gather is gather. And it's, if I said the Forks in Winnipeg, gather in Saskatoon or Eau Claire Market, we're talking about specific areas of cities that do specific things. I think it's wonderful. Bringing people down, do you want to, or can we share that if people did want to use that as a facility for I'm not saying a staff Christmas party, but a staff event or training, can there be areas that you can rent out for people to do that?
Yeah, great question. We've had the chance to host a couple networking events in the space, and how we facilitate that is we just need to know when are you coming, kind of what time, and roughly how many people, so we can sort of strategically set our tables up in a way that give you privacy for your event still, but also still make it a very welcoming space that the public can still come in. And let's say mom and dad are coming with the kids to just grab some ice cream cones after the ball game. Like, they can still go to the shops to do that, but still there can be a networking in the other component of the space. So it's a very fluid space. No idea is off the table at this point. Come in and let us know. I mean, I did have a wedding request. I don't know if we're the best wedding venue. That one's going to be harder to privatize that one or give you that exclusivity for your event. But really networking events, whether it's business meetings, like we're starting to see that just sort of organically trickling into the space. So I'm happy to sit down and have the conversation with folks to chat about what are you envisioning. I'm pretty confident to tell you what the space can and can't do. So if we can match it and it makes sense, great. And if not, we'll be transparent. We'll just say, hey, this might not be the best fit, but we're happy to send people for other referrals if there's a better space that can better suit them. But we're not trying to force anyone in here. It's actually just a really lovely place. We just want people to be able to enjoy what's been beautifully renovated and has great people in it every day.
I think that's the important takeaway with anything that has been envisioned for that area and building in particular, but being able to say we can and we cannot do these particular things, but having those sets of eyes kind of bringing those ideas is great. Is there an opportunity for any other local providers? Somebody might make moccasins or make hot dogs or something like that. Can they sell their product at that gather?
Yeah, so there's always going to be a couple of pathways on that component. So it's going to depend on people's attendance and commitment to the space. So if people are looking to be here more every day, that's where we're going to want to sit down and go through, like, what does onboarding to gather look like? And happy to have those conversations. And the short answer is yes, as long as it's a sustainable looking plan to come in. We don't want to set anyone up for failure. And then the second option is if folks are more just passing through or maybe looking for more of that pop-up farmers market opportunity, we're happy to showcase people into that pathway as well, where there is a lot more fluidity in attendance and a little bit less risk coming in that way. We do actually have a kitchen and a maker space that are available if people are wanting to do those pop-up options. So happy to chat more about those. Thanks to some sponsorships, we can actually offer those spaces at subsidized rates for people who are really trying to come in and do great stuff, or sometimes there's community groups that want to fundraise. So we've kind of made pockets to try and be inclusive for as many people as possible. Yeah. So we just want to know who you are, what you're trying to do, and let's see how we can make it come together.
Adria, I want to wish you the best. Thank you for sharing all of that with us. Hope to see you down there for Kuna Fest. New word for me, and best of luck to you in the facility.
Yes, thank you so much for having us and giving us space to talk about it. There's been some really great contributors to this project, so I know I speak for a lot of voices when we say thank you for helping us get the word out, and we're excited to start welcoming people back into the space.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks.